Now that we have an adept knowledge of printing in C++, we can start learning more complex concepts. To begin with, we're going to learn about variables, which let you store values and then change those values. So think of it like a jar, and in the jar we could store or put inside whatever we want, for example, a number. We could also give the jar a name like my number. Now, whenever we refer to my number, we would actually be talking about the number that is inside the jar. So if I were to say my number is equal to 4, then the number inside the jar would change to be 4. Well, this concept can easily be applied to programming. To use a variable, we must start by declaring it, and to do this, we need to start with the data type. The data type tells C++ what type of variable you want to declare. This can be a number of things, which we'll be discussing later in the tutorial series. But for now, we're going to stick with integers, which just means any whole number. So we'll just start with the keyword int, which means to create an integer variable. Then we have to name the variable. This could be anything, but for this example, I'll name it x. Now we can just put a semicolon to say that this statement is finished. So we just declared a number variable named x, but currently x does not hold a value. So we can simply say on another line that x is equal to 4 semicolon, which simply stores the number 4 inside the variable x. So keep in mind that whenever we refer to x from now on, we're actually talking about the number 4 as we set it to be 4 in this statement. So to prove this, if we said cout followed by an output stream operator, then the variable name x, then another output stream operator, then the keyword endl and a semicolon, then technically it should print out the number 4. And when we run it, as you can see, it does in fact print out 4. But did you know that we can in fact declare a variable and set its value on the same line? To do this, we need to once again specify the data type, which in this case will just be an int. Then we must name the variable. For this example, I'll name it to be y. Then you can just use an equal sign and then the value that you want it to set it to, for example 8. So now on, if we printed out y, it would display 8. So if we write cout followed by an output stream operator, then the variable name 8, then another output stream operator, then the keyword endl and a semicolon, then it would print 4, and then on the next line 8, because x was 4 and y was 8. Another important part of variables is that the value that they hold will be overwritten if you set it to another value. For example, if I were to say x equals y, that would override the current value of x, being 4, and replace it with the value of y, which is 8. So if we printed x again using cout, followed by an output stream operator, then the variable name x, then another output stream operator, then the keyword endl, as we can see, when we run the program, it prints 4, then 8, and then 8 again, because 4 was the initial value of x, then 8 was the initial value of y, and finally 8 was the new value of x. And to demonstrate this further, if we change y to be equal to 16, then we'd see that all the numbers that were 8 are now 16. So let's just go over why this program works one last time. To begin with, we have #include IOStream, which as we know just tells C++ to use the input-output file. Then we said, using namespace std, which simply tells C++ that we want to start using the standard library. Then we had int main, which is the function that C++ calls automatically or starts with. Then we said int x, which created a variable named x, which can hold integers or whole numbers, but we did not give a value to x. Then we said int y equals 16, which declared a whole number variable named y, and then immediately set its value to 16. Then we said x equals 4, which told C++ to store the number 4 inside the x variable. Then we printed out the value of x by saying cout, followed by an output stream operator, then the variable name x, then another output stream operator, then the keyword endl, followed by a semicolon. So what C++ did was it saw the cout keyword and said, okay, I need to print something. Then it saw the x and went and checked what x was currently equal to, which in this case was 4. So then it printed out 4. Then we said cout followed by an output stream operator, then the variable name y, and then the keyword endl, and then a semicolon, which did the same thing except search for the value of y, which is why in this case it printed out 16. Then we wrote the statement x equals y, semicolon, which told C++ to override the current value of x with the value of y, which is 16 because when y was declared, the value of it was set to 16. Then we said cout followed by an output stream operator, then the variable name x, then another output stream operator, then the keyword endl, followed by a semicolon, which just told C++ to print the current value of x, which is 16, because it was set on the line previously. Then we said get char, open close brackets, semicolon, which stops the program and does not continue until the user types something. And finally, we said return 0, which just tells the main function that the program has successfully run and that it's okay to close the program. So, congratulations, you've successfully written a program that implements one of the most useful concepts in programming, variables. So to further our knowledge about variables, we'll be going into detail about the different variable data types, from words all the way to booleans. But more on that next time, so let's begin.